Yeah, you can feel free to minimize yourself as we do this. No problem. And I'm going to go back to sharing and we will get started. So, as you know, you will get a copy of the Calm Down Kit at the end of this webinar, and it'll also kick out in an email to you. It's actually a code, so you go right into our store to purchase it, and the code will give you the Calm Down Corner kit for free. So be sure to look in the chat or find that email that comes to you in the end. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. And I'm grateful to have you here to start and kick off your back to school time with a bang. And it is back to school time. It's the heavy time of that. I just came from doing an in-service today in Iowa City for a new school that we're onboarding. And the excitement to have the programming at their school, which just really brought me back to my roots and the why and why we're doing this and to the mission. So, big feelings came up for me today on rededication to the mission. And sometimes it just takes a new school to be onboarded to really feel that. So, today, our title for our webinar is Back to School Big Feelings, Gentle Tools for Our Early Learners. So many of you know who I am. My name is Molly Schreiber, and I am CEO and founder of Challenge to Change Incorporated. And I am the mother of four amazing children. There are three of my children there. My daughter Maggie is on the far left, and my twins Jacob and Maria are next to me. And then I do have a bonus daughter, Sydney. And I am also a dog mom. I don't have a picture of my dogs here, of Mila and Blue. I do hold a master's degree in education, and I'm also an educator of yoga through Yoga Alliance. So I'm a 500 certified yoga teacher and a YACUP, which is a continuing education presenter, and a lover of all things mindfulness. My noble goal in life is raising happy, healthy, safe kids who make the world around them better than they found it. And my noble goal is something I know I won't accomplish fully in this lifetime until I take my last dying breath. So it is something that gets me out of bed every single morning and motivates me further in the mission of what I'm doing. It motivated me in my mission to raise my children happy, healthy, and safe, but not just my children, but all the children in the world who want to be a better version of themselves. And by children, I mean whether you're age 0 or 99. At Challenge to Change, our mission is empowering individuals with a proactive approach to strengthen their mind, body, and emotional well being through viable preventative mindfulness tools. And we do that at Challenge to Change through our online education, whether that be a training, our online, our live or online mindful education in the schools, whether it's through a conference, event, professional development, our continuing education classes that we offer for educators, whether it's through our trauma-informed practices at homeless shelters, juvenile detention centers, offering trainings there, our mindful education and healthcare, our studio programming that we do, where we do camps for kids, classes and workshops, and also as for adults, and our online training programs and live training programs for 95-hour youth yoga training, 200-hour for teaching adults, and 300-hour yoga teacher training for advancing your practices. So that's a little snapshot of who we are in general. But the big part of what we do is we offer mindful education in schools. And through this webinar, Big Feelings, Gentle Tools, we're going to give you a back to school kickoff of calmness for preschoolers, kindergartners, and how they can relate not only in the school, but also at home as well. So we're going to take just a moment before we get started fully to pause and breathe. Breath is absolute magic. Breath gives us the pause. We say at Challenge to Change, and the pause is a proper noun. It starts with a capital T and a capital P. That's how important we believe it is at Challenge to Change to take the pause, no matter what age you are, whether you're 0, 35, or 95. The pause is important. The pause, the proper noun, capital T, capital P, is what we take between stimulus and response. It is the place that we go to discern. Emotions only last 6 seconds. After those 6 seconds, whether it's a pleasant or an unpleasant emotion, we choose to replicate it in our body. We choose consciously or unconsciously to continue to replicate the emotion. If we give ourselves that time to pause, to allow the emotion to pass through our body, allow our mind, our computer, to connect to our body, our creature, and work together to come forth in a self-reflective way to help us self-regulate and move forward in a positive way where we know that we are keeping the relationships that we have in a good place. So we're going to start by breathing and pausing. We're going to allow the day that we've experienced so far to just rest and digest so we can move forward in a mindful way, learning about how to use a calm corner in our classroom this year. So if your legs are crossed or your arms are crossed, I invite you to uncross them and place your feet flat on the ground. Maybe place your hands on your lap, or perhaps you want to put them on your belly or on your heart. And if it's comfortable and safe for you, unless you're driving, close your eyes and just notice what it feels like in this moment to have your eyes closed, your hands on your heart, your hands on your belly or on your lap. Don't try to change anything, just do the art of noticing. And we're going to pause and simply breathe. There's no magic formula to this. It's simply breathing. That can be all the pause is. It doesn't have to be some magic mindfulness tool. It's closing our eyes, connecting the computer and the creature, uncrossing our legs, uncrossing our arms, and allowing ourselves to be open to practice the pause. So with your eyes closed and your hands in a safe place, exhale, let the breath go completely out of your body. Then inhale, fill the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And then open mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Completely let it go. Then inhale, fill the belly, the rib cage, the chest again. And this time when you open mouth, exhale, completely let it go. Even sigh it out, make it audible. If you're by yourself in the room, let it go. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, fill belly, rib cage, chest. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. And then on your next breath, seal the lips and inhale through the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And exhale back out through the nose or through slightly parted lips. Let's do that again, filling the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Exhaling back out through the nose or through slightly parted lips. Coming into that focused breath, bringing our attention forward. Do 2 more rounds of that focused breath, breathing from the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And then exhaling back out through the nose or through slightly parted lips. And I invite you in this moment to set an intention for maybe your evening, maybe the rest of your week, or perhaps it's for your school year. Set an intention what you'd like to come to pass as if it's already come. Name it, and then take 2 more of those beautiful breaths. Practice the pause. Connect it to an intention, what you'd like to manifest in this year. And once that feels complete, you can blink open your eyes and get ready to learn and how to use your calm corner in your classroom. So we are all here because we work with the early learners, those beautiful pre-K kiddos, those preschool kiddos, those early learners, those kindergartners. And back to school feelings can feel really big, especially that first day of school at morning arrival and that first week. There are big emotions that are happening. They're experiencing that first big separation in a while from their caregivers. It's a time that they really need these tools. And when you already start them in their school year with these calm corners set up, these strategies we're going to talk about, this packet that you're going to get, you're going to be set up for success. Big emotions will happen at the beginning of the school year during cleanup time because maybe it's not a routine that they've had before at home or ever been asked to do. Or perhaps they're tired and they're tired of waiting, they're tired of sharing, and they're tired of all the activities going on. They feel overwhelmed. Big emotions, big feelings can show up during rest time when they're not feeling that they can completely let go. Or when the transition happens, when they're ready to head home. Many of these things happened at the home and happen in the home as well. Big emotions, big feelings come up when they're getting dressed, when they're leaving the house, saying goodbye, returning home after a very long day of school that's new to them. It happens at dinner time. So many meltdowns happen at dinner time. Big feelings can come up at bath time, bedtime, or we're preparing to return to school the next morning because perhaps sleep wasn't something that happened so well the night before. So when we have these big feelings come up, these big emotions, these experiences that as a parent, as a caregiver, as an educator are not always so pleasant, we like to give the opportunity for classrooms and homes to have a calm corner, a dedicated space for a brief emotional or energy reset, a place that contains tools, a place that becomes very safe, a place where the children can practice the pause. Capital T, capital P. That's how important it is. A calm corner is not a punishment area, a time out area, a place children are sent because they're bad. It's not a place where they remain indefinitely. There's always that time for them to pause and leave the space. It's a replacement for adult connection and support. It is not a replacement for adult connection and support. It is time, a place for them to use the tools that they've learned. On the left-hand corner of this screen is an example of a calm corner within a classroom that is utilizing challenge to changes online resources from the Online Resource Center so that the children, these are elementary children, have the opportunity to look at everything that they can do from breath practices to mantras to square breathing to sensory input to help them experience the calm. When you set up your calm down corner or that space in your classroom or in your home, just begin with a few small number of familiar materials. In the Calm Down kit that you're going to get at the end of this webinar, it outlines how to set up the space and what to put in it and how to utilize it. So if anything happens in this webinar and you can't remember, or you're driving in your car and you can't write notes, please know that when you get the Calm Down Corner kit, it will definitely explain it in greater detail. A basic Calm Down Corner kit might include an emotions chart. Name it to tame it is something that we often say. When we allow our early learners to express how they're feeling beyond the three basic emotions of happy, sad, and mad, they're able to fully express how they're truly feeling and teaching them how to grow their emotional vocabulary through an emotions chart. We also have feelings charts and emotions charts with simple faces on them. So the child can also explain through color and through facial expression exactly how they're feeling. A lot of these items are in the Calm Down Corner kit, or they are things that you can purchase on the online store. If you're one of our yoga schools and mindful education schools, you also get this in the resource center, so please don't purchase anything extra. It might also have 1 to 2 breathing activities at a time. If you have our online resource center, you have a plethora of breathing activities that you have access to. But try not to overwhelm your students in the Calm Down Corner with more than 1 or 2 at a time. Too many choices can make us shut down. So giving 1 to 2 at a time and maybe explaining them in a morning meeting. Have one movement activity, whether it's having an iPad there that has a yoga flow on it to music, like we have in our online resource center, or through the Calm Down Corner kit, simple movement activities through yoga poses, through moving of their hands, twisting their bodies to help them move the energy through their body. Mindful movement is magic. So don't think breath just has to be what you have in your Calm Down Corner. It also can be movement activity. A great thing to have when you set up your space originally is a calm jar or a sensory item. In your Calm Down Corner kit, we teach you how to make what we used to call a moody cow jar or a calm down jar. And it has glitter in it to help the students settle those big feelings, those big thoughts, and give them a visual of what it's like when you sit and breathe and watch all the glitter fall to the bottom of the jar. That's what happens with the energy in your body when you sit and breathe. That is the magic that can happen, and it gives them that visual experience. You might also want to have a 1, a 2, or a 3-minute timer that gives the students an ample amount of time within the calm down corner so they don't stay there all day. Also, as you saw in the previous slide, the calm down corner choice board is always a nice thing to have. So as you saw in the previous, there were many choices on the board that they could make for that month. So giving them those opportunities. And your Calm Down Corner kit for the pre-K does have some of those items in there for you. The Calm Down Corner tool categories that we are giving you in the kit have different tools because children regulate in different ways. Each child that we work with, each child that we have in our home, each child that we work with in our after school programming, every child that we work with in school have different types of ways that they need to regulate. So we have these categories set up in our Calm Down Corner kit. We have practices of breath, which might be like a square breathing. It might be simply teaching them to do a balloon breath. It might be something more advanced like finger breathing. It also will have a stretch and move portion, where in our preschool program, we have other songs that we put to yoga poses to help them move the energy through their body. We do offer a sound and rhythm portion because sound and rhythm together can help us bring the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere of our brain together and help us balance out at the same time as self-regulate the body. We also have senses and fidget as one of our categories because fidgets can be a powerful tool as long as they are taught to the students correctly and utilized correctly. We also have emotional literacy. Once again, talking about naming the emotion to tame it. So whether that's growing their emotional vocabulary beyond the 3 basic emotions of happy, sad, and mad, and bringing them into a place where they might be able to name it differently, whether it's through a facial picture, or it's through a color, or if it's through an emotions chart. And then, of course, our specialty, the guided practices, the mindful guided practices, AKA the yoga naps. And the yoga naps are where we have the students put the eye pillow on their eyes or on their belly and lay down and listen to yoga stories. Later on, I'll show you where you can access all sorts of free guided mindfulness practices, also known as the yoga nap practices for your students on our website. They are also hyperlinked as well in your Calm Down Corner kit, and a QR code is there for you to utilize as well. So number 1, the first category, a great tool to have in your Calm Down Corner kit that you've heard me talk about is the emotions chart. We know that our early learners really only know a few basic words to explain how they're feeling. But there are actually over 3,000 words in our emotional vocabulary. 3,000 words. And oftentimes, we only can name the basic ones. The emotions chart that we use at Challenge to Change isn't always best for the early pre-K and kindergarten because of all the words on there. But the visual is always nice. And we also take these words and we put them with facial expressions on our emotion cards. And they also have the word, they have the facial expression and the color. So our early learners can also utilize this very same emotions chart in a different way. You'll also notice that at the top of the categories are sadness, engaged, happiness, anger, fear, and other. But you'll notice as the emotion intensifies, so does the color. So if you look at engaged, engaged on the very light green is calm. But when you get all the way down to the more intense feeling of calm, the more intense feeling of engaged, the word is safe. Because emotions can be light they can be mid, and they can be heavy. And we want to know exactly where our learners are at. The breathing practices, an example of that would be putting balloon breath in your calm down corner. And balloon breath has a visual in the calm down corner pack that you could put on your calm down board if you wanted to. And it's a great one to teach the students you're working with. Balloon breath is simply where our early learners place their hands on their belly and they feel their belly expand and contract like a balloon filling and then the emptying the air as they breathe out. So it's simply what we did in the beginning. You made the choice to either put your hands on your lap, your belly, or your heart. But when we teach this, we teach the early learners to put their hands on their belly so they can actually feel that sensory of their belly pressing out and their belly coming back towards their body. Oftentimes, especially early learners, breathe in their chest. They're shallow breathers. But when we allow that to happen time over time and become shallow breathers, that's where anxiety comes from. So learning to take the deep belly breaths is critical at an early age because it helps them to feel that calm. It helps them to press that breath into your diaphragm. That's why music and singing is so powerful and so calming and so self-regulating for so many of us, is because we are doing that deep belly breathing. We are doing balloon breath at that time. Ways to use balloon breath, not only in your calm down corner kit, but in transitions in your classroom are before, if you're in the home, before leaving for school, during morning arrival at the school, before a rest time. It's even nice for them to lay on their bellies and practice balloon breath that way, where they feel their belly press into the floor and get that sensory input and feel it come away. After a conflict, after a difficult conversation, after an encounter that wasn't so pleasant, to practice balloon breathing and co-regulate with another student and do it with them. Maybe even have them sit back to back so they can actually feel the other person breathing at the same time. If you're at home before dinner is a magical time to practice balloon breath so you don't have those dinner meltdowns. And I smile every time because I had so many of those when my kids were toddlers. And before bedtime is also a great time. And then maybe adding in a yoga story, a great way for them to fall asleep. Another great way, I'm going to press pause here, is the story of a tiny seed flow. And this flow is also in your Calm Down Corner kit. It's part of our new curriculum that we have for our preschool programming, our early intervention prevention program. And it tells the story of a tiny seed. So this little story of the tiny seed is an audio track on that you can listen to as a guided story. It's also a little video that you can watch. It's also embedded in our curriculum if you're one of our preschool schools and have this in your school and online or live, they get to learn to do this flow. And again, it is all inside that Calm Down Corner kit for you as well. So it takes the child from being on the floor to child's pose, up to mountain, and through a few or through a few yoga poses to get them to self-regulate and feel how big, how tiny, how they can fit in their bodies. Ways that you can use the tiny seed flow is before school. It's a great thing to do before they come into the classroom or right after they get all their book bags put away and set up for success. Start your day with it. Maybe do it at the end of the school day. Or if you're an after school program, start that way. Between classroom activities, before rest time, when a child needs movement, when you can see it, or before doing a quieter activity so they've had a chance to move their bodies. Another piece that you've heard me talk about was the calm glitter jar. This is something that you can do and have in your Calm Down Corner kit. You as the educator, you as the parent can do and have in your Calm Down Corner. Or it's something that you can make with all of your classroom kids and teach them about different colors. You can teach them about different feelings, different emotions. You can teach them about the way that the glitter settles to the bottom of the jar. So there are pieces on the Calm Down Corner much like you see here in the webinar, where it teaches you exactly how to make it and then also how you can use it with kids. I have found so much success with Calm Down glitter jars. Parents have found that that's a great thing for them to put in their at-home calm corner, in their peace out corner, whatever you may call it in your home. It's also a powerful thing to put just simply in your child's room and ask them to go do a few rounds of the Calm Down glitter jar and then come back and let's talk a little bit more about what's going on. So it's a great tool to use with students of any age, children of any age. And by that, again, I mean 0, I mean 40, or I mean 100. The calm down corner routine is something that's very important to set up at the beginning of the school year. I know at the beginning of the class, the beginning of the school year, setting up classroom routines was so important, especially working with early learners. Doing things over and over again, modeling, then it's the I do, then you do, then we do, and showing them over and over again so they get the predictable routine that's before them. So this kit, this Calm Down Corner kit that we are sending you is a kit that uses a simple and predictable routine. It simply follows 5 steps. Number 1, the child chooses 2 tools to use, 2 tools that you have already taught them. Then set a timer for 1, 2, or 3 minutes, whatever you want that timeline to be, and have them complete tools. Maybe at the beginning of the school year, you really have to model that more or do it with them one-on-one. And then after a while, they're going to have more and more tools that they can utilize. And simply going back to step 1 and choosing 2 of them, maybe they end up setting the timer by themselves. And if you are looking for timers, we do have those free on our YouTube channels. And then they complete the tools. And they just notice what it might feel like to practice those after 1 minute. And then maybe they grow to 2 minutes. And then maybe eventually they're at 3 minutes. And then step 4 is the connection piece. Finish with a high five, a heart hand mudra, or a hug. And by a heart hand, I simply mean like the Taylor Swift heart mudra, right? Or giving them a hug, whatever may be your comfort level, whether you're at the home or in the school. And then have them go to the next step, which is what we want them to do, to return to the work, return to the play, return to the activity, return to the routine, whether it be in the home or at school. So those simple 5 steps are what the Calm Corner routine is all about. And in the beginning, it's a lot about modeling. It's a lot about showing and then maybe doing with them. But the goal is eventually for them to do by themselves. The return, that's the most important part of the process. It's because the goal of the Calm Corner routine is not just for them to become calm. The goal is for them to become ready to rejoin what is happening, what the next step is that you want them doing in the classroom or at home. An important part of the Calm Down Corner kit is also that connection between home and school. So there is a common language for helping children to self-regulate. I know that at Challenge to Change, we've learned over time that that home to school component is even more important than ever. So in our early learning preschool program called Seeds of Peace that we've recently launched, it connects the children to the programming they have at home to wrap around the caregiver, that they have in the school, to wrap around the caregivers they have in the home. And this is done through a parent component as well, where the parent learns not only what the child is doing in the school, they also learn how to do these practices for themselves. So there is a component of a lesson that the caregiver does with their early learner, whether that be in the school or at home, or at school and at home. And then there's a component where the caregiver learns about their own way to take care of themselves. Maybe they're 1 week talking about their core values and discovering their core values, and eventually writing that noble goal in life towards the end of that last lesson. And there's also that connection time. There's a connection video on how you can deeply connect with the students you're working with, whether they be your own children, those children you work with in after school programmings, or the children in your school. So if you are interested in the Seeds of Peace program, our preschool program, we do offer that online, self-paced, where you're able to teach it in the classroom by yourself for a very discounted price. Otherwise, it's something that we can send our teachers in to practice. And if you look at some of these pictures, these are some of our early learners working with some of our educators. If you have questions or want to collaborate at all, my email is Molly M. Schreiber, or I'm sorry, Molly at challengetochange.inc.com. Please feel free to email me at any time with any questions you have after you receive your Calm Down Corner kit. If you have any like victory stories that you want to share, if you've gathered any data or want us to do it for you while we work in your classroom, we would love to be a part of that. So please email me at any time with any questions you might have, whether it be about this Calm Down Quarter Kit or about something else. We love mindfulness. Mindfulness is our business at Challenge to Change. It's our mission. And we want to help bring it to every little kiddo in the world, whether they're 0 or 99, because we believe that we constantly are evolving into the best version of ourselves. And when we become the best version of ourselves, we become the best version for the neighbors who are around us, our family that's around us. We become better for our community, which thus translates into the world. So please know you can always contact me with any questions that you have, any concerns, or any strategies you'd like to try or have questions. Right now, I am going to put into your chat the link to you getting to the Calm Down Corner kit so you can look through it briefly if you want to, and then you can you also can ask questions. So if you want to ask questions about anything, look through it, or if you feel that it's complete for you, you can um, go off the webinar when you feel that it's right for you. But I am going to drop it in there so you can briefly look at it, but know the email will be coming your way as well with all of the pieces that we talked about in the webinar. So simply what you'll do is go to our website into our store, and I'm going to drop that link here for you in just a moment. And this is a direct link that you can go to. And you're going to go into the store and click on the Calm Down Corner Kit for pre-K. Then you're going to enter in the code that I'm going to put in your chat. And this code will get it to you for free. If you're listening to this webinar and you had signed up for this, you will also get it directly in that email that you're getting. And if you're listening to this online later on, this code will no longer work. But if you email me at the email, I'm happy to send you a new link so you can receive your Calm Down Corner kit for yourself. But this will expire in time, so we want to make sure that you get a correct code so you can access your Calm Down Corner kit. I am going to stop recording